Screen time. The word is often used in a derogatory way, dismissive of all the possibilities that this technology offers. And it reflects poorly on the person using the word. It implies a lack of knowledge, a minimal knowledge, maybe, kind of a cluelessness. Because screen time can mean television and tablets and phones and desktops. It can be found in your house, in your car, in your pocket. I want to break it down more because I want you to stop using the term. Sometimes we use the word when we're talking with other parents. We refer to kids these days on their screens all the time. It's almost a dog whistle to connect us with other struggling parents, a way we don't feel so alone in parenting. But it sets up an us versus them scenario. And the us is you and the other parents, not an us with your kids. And that's not going to help you if you're trying to develop trust and encourage more connection with your child. But that parenting peer group approval is strong, and it's a carryover from our school days with a more generalized peer pressure situation. Always striving to be in the right crowd, win the teacher's approval, conform to the group so that you're not ostracized. So you may feel a little twinge when someone raises their eyebrow or gives a side eye to that kid playing on the iPad nearby. I want you to see it as an attempt for connection with other parents, our peers, but at the expense of the child. Maybe even our own child. If it's someone else's child, the parents may be trying to signal to each other, I'm on top of this problem that we all know about, and I'm not one of those parents seeking approval. And all of that is the opposite of trying to partner with your kid so that you can help them navigate through life. You're showing them whose side you're on when it comes to technology, and it's not theirs. So when they have a problem with it, you're not going to be the person they turn to for help. You've set up a power struggle over it, and asking for help, recognizing a problem that they're encountering wouldn't be helpful to their side in the power struggle. And that's why I talk so much about being on their team, so to speak, not the gatekeeper of all things that they love. Sometimes we use the term screen time when we're talking to our kids, a way to shame them for their choices, a way to manipulate them to choose what we would want them to choose. And then because we haven't given it a lot of thought, we've minimized what they're doing. The learning, the entertainment, the exploration, we've just dismissed it all. Lots of times we hear unschoolers make the comparison of screen time to book time. Maybe some of you heard, get your head out of those books when you were growing up. And even if you did, though, reading a novel is narrow compared to all the things that can be happening as kids transition from one activity to another on their devices. We may not even be aware of it. They can be watching cooking shows to figure out new techniques, or be inspired, or looking up the weather, or watching disasters happening around the world. They could be chatting with friends, sharing artwork they've created, making plans, and checking calendars. They could be looking at how much money they have available to buy that app that they want, or watching a video about why the dog is barking so much. The opportunities to learn are endless. So if you're thinking, I wish they'd read a book like I did, or I wish they'd ride their bike or build a skate ramp, well, they're not you. And the world is not the same as it was 20 years ago. Don't glamorize the old days. Sometimes we did those other things because we had no other options. Our kids have many more options. A while back on the Unschooling Mom2Mom Facebook group, longtime unschoolers were discussing this, and someone said, a computer, a handheld game, an iPod are doors that lead to a vast world of experiences, just as your front door leads to a vast world of many different things you can do. Would you refer to all the things your family does going through that front door? Walks, shopping, visiting friends, mowing the lawn, vacations as door stuff? Maybe it's time we stop staring at the door and look at the richness that's beyond it. And another followed up with thinking of it as carrying dozens of magical doors in their pocket, all accessible whenever and wherever the need arises. Because of that perspective, our lives are bigger and richer and more connected for having a pocket full of magic doors. If someone wants to stay on their side of the door, so to speak, or lacks the imagination to see how the world is much bigger, more available, well, that's okay. Fear and conformity can make us play small. And my guess is that's what's happening. How to move past these limiting beliefs about technology. How to get over this phrase of screen time. Think about the function of what the phone or the tablet or the TV or the desktop is being used for. On a scavenger hunt, what are all the things you do on your phone on a given day? What other devices do you use that are electronic? Get curious about some of the things your kids are doing when they're on their devices. There's some overlap. Are they doing some of the same things you are? Just at a kid level or a kid's version of interests and preferences. Instead of asking them how long they've been online, ask what they're working on. What are they doing? Who are they talking with? What have they found? Read a little more of this. Over at the Unschooling Mom2Mom blog, Roxana Sarushian wrote about all the ways she uses her phone and tablet and desktop. The New Yorker has an article called Limiting Your Child's Fire Time, a guide for concerned Paleolithic parents. It was funny and very applicable. So hopefully I've given you some food for thought. Stepping away from that term screen time. I have much better choices than that.